so careful. Believe in your computer, Freya.
You can just start while my computer has a mental breakdown. I don't
Relatable.
really need to see the map for now.
I mean, it was less going to sleep in the same room as everyone just collapsed from mutual exhaustion.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Well then, I think everyone probably still remembers what happens last time, and I don't need to repeat.
Barely.
Varian, you are the first to wake. You wake slow and exhausted. Whatever sleep you had, it didn't really help much. Bright light shines into the room. You're quite warm, warmer than you'd have expected. As you slowly rise, a wool blanket slips off of you. You hear the soft crackling of a fire from the fireplace. As you rise up and look around you, you notice that the broken windows of your safe house have been covered by more blankets, except for one. Marius is standing by the open window, absent-mindedly staring outside. At the sound of your stirring, Marius turns. What the hell is happening, Varian? Explosions in the middle of Compass? Smoke? What happened to the simple day? And what happened to you? You look terrible.
Yeah, Theron kind of nods at that and sits up, and then everything comes rushing back, and he just kind of in his hands.
Marius has a sad look in his eyes, and he doesn't seem to want to press. Around you, wrapped in similar wool blankets, the rest of your party, except for Raqash.
You're getting cut off sometimes.
My band. Around you, wrapped in wool blankets, is the rest of your party, save for Raqash.
Is that Freya?
Changing phone.
Look up at Mary to be like, something went down last night and Raqash is missing, and I need you to make that meeting with that lieutenant for the prison break thing.
Yeah, about that, listen. I tried to find Cromwell, but I fear he's gotten more careful. I was approached by one of his. She, she wants to talk to you face to face. Could be a trap. Anyway, it's a lead. Did you find anything at the manor?
To note that Baron will sigh very deeply and look up at Marius to be like, did you know anything about father, Jacob Dreckerson? I know I don't use the last name often, but he was a shipwright and he served like a decade ago. Did you know anything about him?
Name doesn't really ring a bell. Was he from Compass?
No, Iron Republic. But he might be involved in.
Are you saying your father has something to do with
Saying
your
that his name
setup?
came up. I'm saying that his name came up where it shouldn't have. And that it might be connected to the prison guy, so whatever Cromwell wants from us, we don't have much of a choice anymore.
See.
Have you heard of, I don't know what she described, smoke taking people and blowing out windows? Do you know who might know?
Are you talking about last night?
Yeah.
There's nothing I could think of except magic. Not commonly occurring phenomenon.
It's not. Who knows? Maybe she was just hysterical, and this morning she'll be able to tell us more. But fuck, we're in such a mess. And I guess Barry will get up and he'll start waking people up.
Marius
Starting with the
sighs
closest
on
person
our
to
side
him and going in a circle.
and steps away from the window, off of what you now notice a small crate. Well, I guess if you're set on the prison, you should prepare. If you meet with this sergeant, I think she is, to get to the lieutenant, be prepared. You know, just in case.
Thanks, Marius. I will just go into situations where I'm gonna die. So
Do you wake the rest of your party?
yeah, I wake him up.
All of you rise from your sleep. None of you has slept very well this night.
Is Mary still there?
He's by the fire.
Okay.
Smoking it.
Cress is looking around, quite confused.
Serenity doesn't move.
Arian's not gonna push. He'll just step away from her.
And Bo
Okay.
turned to Jet, and Jet just vanished.
Well,
Okay, so I guess
Oh,
Varian will
it's sad.
Hmm.
yes.
turn to Cress and like nod his head more to one side of the room to try and like talk to her alone. Follow him.
Sure. What is it?
We have to do the prison break. If you're coming with me, that's great, but if not, I have to do it now.
Look, yesterday I was really completely against this bullshit. And I still don't think we should rush things that bring us in danger too much. But I have to admit, I at least want to talk to that guy, and we also should, because he's basically the point that where everything comes together. He's somehow connected to the Storm Sage. He's part of their crew. And those were somehow connected, however, with your father. And they are the ones who are hunting us, so probably they might also know something about Raqash.
Well, before you get too excited, there's a lot I didn't tell you about that prison. It's one way in, it's full. It's one way out, just the same way in. And it's gonna be difficult. Barry said that maybe we could. I asked about could bribe, but it looks like the only one that would usually that would be our best bet has kind of off. However, he or someone affiliated with him is asking for to be our way in. I don't think we have much of a choice. About the people who might have taken Raqash. There's no news about anything that's going on. That's all we have.
Well, doesn't hurt to talk with them, I guess. And maybe, just maybe, there might even be some, at least semi-legal way to get in there. Maybe just bribing someone to just being officially able to visit that person and to talk to them or whatever. I don't know.
We have to get him out.
Yeah, well, but
stuff.
If we can get down there without any problems, that would be a good first step too, I guess. So that might at least be the first part of the plan, and then we can still figure something out.
Right. Brian's kind of sighs and rubs his face entirely.
And
Looking too happy still.
I am not really sure about busting that guy out here, but if you really want to do that, you shouldn't tell Jed.
I agree. Why do you think I brought you over here? I think Serenity might kill me, so... Which is fair.
But both of them might be very useful still for this mission, because both of them could turn into, like, guards or whatever to be a good backup there.
True. Let's focus on getting stuff set up first before we focus on the person who might stop us on the loose cannon. Things are such a mess.
They are. So let's fix it.
Yeah, let's fix it. I guess Barry will walk back over to the group.
Jet sits next to Serenity, trying to hold her hand, comfort her.
I'm not gonna take her hand.
Yeah, Cress walks over there too. And tries to get eye contact with Serenity.
Brian's staying back.
Very blankly. She has like no expression in her face.
So, Serenity, you want to save your brother?
She nods.
And I beg of you, please help us and let's have a talk with it. But let's at least try to have a talk with that guy. down in the prison, he might know something about the whereabouts of your brother.
How would he possibly know anything about that?
Well, he's connected to the Storm Sage, and the Storm Sage is connected with the people who tried to catch us, and someone caught your brother, so they might be related.
Raqash was really against going to the prison. I don't think that's a good idea.
Me neither. But do you have any other ideas?
She shakes her head. Okay. Fine. Whatever it takes.
Okay. We're gonna be careful.
I know.
And she looks at Jed. You with us?
Of course.
Good. Then I guess we should go to talk to this person that Marius mentioned.
Fine.
Marius crouched by the fire, still poking the logs. Simply says, "We'll probably find her by the barracks."
Serenity's just gonna stand up and walk to the door. Let's go then.
And Crest's gonna follow her.
I don't follow in the back. Guiltily not looking at Serenity at all. Ever.
Do we know where the barracks are?
Arian probably knows what they are.
Serenity doesn't.
Yeah. Because
You
I
know
can't
they're
even find it on the
close
map.
Close to the town center,
Okay.
I don't think Serenity would know that.
near the tower that used to be the tower of the Master of the Guard.
I'm gonna look at Varian and point into various directions with a question mark on my face.
Very just nod or not direction. Serenity's in the front, he's not taking point.
As all of you step outside, as the broken glass on the floor, you notice that it has once more gotten colder. It's almost winter now. Yet despite the cold air, the streets of Compass are filled with life as usual. You head straight to the barrack?
Uh-huh.
I want to make... Where are the barracks in relation to the east docks?
I put a
Oh,
mark
that's
on.
too far to make a reasonable detour.
I mean, you are pretty close to the dock.
Oh, if we're really close to the east docks, Varian might look at them and be like, I want to go obtain something real fast before we walk into any potential traps.
What are you going to get?
I don't think I should tell you.
I think you should tell me, Varian.
I think you should tell everyone.
Cash took all the red dust with him, and it's enough of a... that I think we should obtain some. Or at least I should myself. It has too much potential benefit. Your situation without that, one up.
Fine. Especially if anyone of us gets hurt by that stuff again. Should be quite
Was
useful.
easier than I thought. Going to the East Docks to get some drugs.
You head down the nearest connecting alley to the main street leading out toward the dock. The docks are very foggy this morning, and even though it's not as busy as the main docks would be, you still see a fair number of people shove around crates along the various warehouses.
I'm looking for people who look like they sell red powder.
Please give me a perception roll to find the drug dealers.
No. Well, that fucking sucked, didn't it? That's a 9.
Well, usually you'd see drug dealers and other sorts of lowlifes in the darker alleyways. You can't seem to see any directly on the docks as you look around.
Search the nearby alleyways then.
You pass by the warehouses, looking in few of the alleyways, and surprisingly, a lot of them are empty. Near the end of the docks, however, you seem to be lucky, or, well, maybe not so lucky. You see 2 men at the end of the alleyway arguing.
Seems like a perfectly safe situation to walk into. Let's walk up. Let's walk closer.
Just as you step a few steps closer, one of them pulls out a knife and stabs the other.
Wow.
Typical.
As you step a little closer, he suddenly turns towards you. Knife still bloody in hand, he raises it towards you. Panicked look in his eye.
Varian's gonna put his hands up and back up a few steps.
You didn't see anything. You see him frantically pawing at the coat of whoever he stabbed. Pull out tiny sack. You hear clinking of coins as the person runs away into the opposite direction.
And he just looks kind of disappointed. However fucked up he was looking. And he's like, God damn it. You guys didn't see any people selling it?
Maybe search the body. Looked like some kind of drug deal went wrong or whatever.
I'll
Okay.
walk to the body.
Now let's search the body.
Please, whoever searches the body, give me a investigation.
Oh, yikes.
Oh! I saw the 18 for a second.
11.
That's a 12.
Okay, well, I guess both of you paw at the body. You find on the left side of his belt a series of knives and the odd syringe. On the right side, you discover a large pouch which contains 2 vials and a smaller bag.
It's in the smaller bag.
Well, as you open the smaller bag, you see glimmering red.
I'm guessing it's red dust then. We wonder if it's supposed to be injected, which is not a fun prospect.
Let's get away from the body. I don't want to get involved in this further.
Yeah, you're right. Let's
Do you
go to
take
the
all of the contents of the pouch or just the dust?
dust and the vials.
I'll take the syringe. From his belt.
That's not
Oh
reassuring.
no! Oh no!
That's really worrying.
Okay.
Oh, let's go to the barracks. Oh, that I have drugs.
On the way.
Just as
Oh.
you're about to exit the docks, you hear a scuffle behind you, and you hear the shouting of a guard as you see two guards beating down on what looks to be the man you just saw run out of the elevator.
Not shouting at us though, right?
Nope.
Yep, continue walking.
Just walk around that shit.
Mm-hmm.
Don't pay any attention to it.
You gonna say, Alaman?
Oh, I just want to say on our way to the barracks, I lean over to Jed and ask her, what happened to Bo?
Feel more like that.
And Chris nods as if she understands, but she doesn't.
I guess while we go, Varian might mix a like you might take one of the vials, fill it with like some water, and like put a pinch of red dust in it for like easy taking if he has to. This is how we are now.
Both of the vials are filled with liquid.
Oh, never mind. Okay, I
Yeah.
have one. I'll just chug it and hope. Like, if push comes to shove, I'll just chug it and hope that it's not really potent.
Okay.
My life.
As you make your way to the barracks, you pass by the prison tower, last hall, ominous and looming to your left side. You remember walking past this tower a lot, but you also remember getting this weird feeling that if you ever saw this tower from the inside, it would be your last.
Thanks, DM. That's not ominous.
You arrive at the barracks. There's quite a bustling flow of guards entering and exiting the barracks.
Just looking for that woman.
Well,
Me too.
you see a couple of women leave and enter the barracks.
Assuming Marius described her.
Cress is gonna be Cress and just walks over to the next guard and asks him about her.
What? What do you mean? Who?
What was her name again?
I forgot. What's her name?
You know, she was a sergeant under Cromwell.
You know, there's a female sergeant has been working under Cromwell for some time now, and we got the message she wanted to talk to us. So maybe you know her name and where she is.
Try the counter. And he shuffles away.
Okay, thank you. It's better than nothing, I guess. Let's go search the counter.
Okay.
Charming.
As you step up to the counter, the clerk behind it looks at you suspiciously and asks, what's your business here?
There's a sergeant who works under Cromwell who's been asking around about us.
Did she request you by name?
Probably. I don't know. Did she? Did Mary say she requested? Yeah, she did say she requested us by name. So yes.
He flips through stacks of paper.
We need to know.
Hardwell. Is that your name?
Who?
Hardwell? No? Okay. I have a Raqash.
Yeah, Varian kind of stiffens at it. I mean, like.
Is that a yes or no?
Yes.
He steps away from behind the counter and vanishes through a back door. After a couple of minutes, he returns and holds out his hands to his left side. Down the hallway, he's there.
Thanks. And Varian will go.
At the end of the hallway, indeed, is a female sergeant standing outside of what looks to be a temporary holding cell. She looks at you as you approach and cocks her head to the side.
Wanted to talk?
You are the ones who have been poking around then.
Uh-huh.
Perhaps.
Let's take this somewhere more private. And she walks into the holding cell.
I'll follow.
Okay.
Yeah, me too.
Oh, two.
As the last of you enters, she turns around. Welcome. I'm Sergeant Carolyn. Now, I hear you've been looking for Crom. Is that correct?
Yes.
That is correct.
Yep.
And you are looking for a social visit or...
Is this for Cromwell, she said?
She was asking why you were looking for...
More business than social.
Is it information you're looking for?
Favor.
Kind of.
Well, as you know, Compass has its fair share of problems. And, well, one of these problems is one Lieutenant Cromwell. Compass is changing. The Master of Guard is reworking Compass from the ground up. This is a changing of the guard, as you will. And, well, the old guard needs to go. Now,
You don't
when that happens, I need to be in a position where I can help with it. And for that, I need leverage. Cromwell is dirt. Scum that rises to the top. I need dirt on him to remove him. If
see how.
I tell you where to find him, I can provide you a safe house for interrogation. And if you get me what I need, in return, I can give you the information you want. If you've not gotten it from him already.
Like I said, it's less information and more that we need a favor.
I would like to make an insight check to see if she's really offering that or if she like kind of sets up a trap or whatever.
Me too.
Okay, give me an insight.
What do I have an insight? +4. Okay.
I think I have a minus. Oh, damn it. I threw the dice into Layla's box.
That is an awesome 8.
12, but I think I have.
Insight check too.
Oh, I don't. That's a 12.
Well, there's not a lot of light,
That's,
and
I
it's
can't do
hard
math. That's a 21.
Ooh.
to gauge her emotion.
Mm-hmm.
However, Serenity and Varian, you both see disgust and anger in her face every time she mentions Cromwell. You can tell that she is angry and determined, though you're not exactly sure about.
Okay. Like Varian said, he said, we're not so much after information as we are after arts. You can help us out with that after we get what you want.
I
You have a
can,
deal.
if it does not go too far.
And too far.
Well, I'm doing this to move into a position of power. I would not jeopardize that position.
Oh, if our favor doesn't go too far, I thought you meant the torture. Right, that's fine. Oh, it's just a visit.
So is there anything we're not allowed to do with Mr. Cromwell?
She hesitated for a moment, visibly.
Of course, we're not talking about killing or something, but you know, some measures to make him talk or whatever.
I don't really care about Cromwell.
Okay, as long, I guess, it doesn't come back to you, that you have something to do with it.
You see her making a fist. That is all the answer.
Okay.
Question. Does Cromwell typically wear a very large hat and carry a golden rod?
He does. It's not a rod, it's a saber, in fact. It was given to him after a duel in the arena.
He used it to beat a child's sibling to death. Doesn't matter what the fuck it is.
That hardly surprises me.
Get you your information.
All I need is evidence, information that can, without a doubt, remove him from any position of power. He may even end up in last hall, who knows?
You can provide us a place to do it and get him there?
Yes.
Do you want this to go down?
I will tell you where exactly he is. You capture him, bring him there. Me and my closest allies will be close by. Once this is over, we will apprehend him, arrest him, and hopefully, with the information you've extracted, lock him away forever.
Like you said, there's no measure too far other than death.
She hesitates again. He breaks eye contact for a moment and just says, "No."
We're on it. Anything else you need before we get started?
What I have one last question. Why us?
You're the ones looking for him, no?
Yes, but we
You have a bone to pick.
could have been people that would have that could have sold you out if we had any other intentions than that. Why taking the risk saying this to strangers?
I know that everyone in Compass has a pride. And looking at you, you don't seem the sort to play game. Plus, I've not done anything yet could fall back on.
Fair enough.
Have your information one way or another.
He hands you a parchment. On it is written a single name. It says the Silken Rose. And underneath it is another address Looks like a place in the warehouse district.
We're taking him there? I guess we're gonna look at her and be like, can you tell me a bit more about Cromwell, his people, what might motivate him to follow a group of people?
Honestly, I think nothing can get Cromwell anywhere without force. Or he's grown careful. His list of friends has been shrinking.
Yes, but like, if we were to try and, for a minute, I don't know, convince, what is he into?
Well, he holds on to his power like a drowning rat on a piece of drift. I guess anything that could secure his position, anything that could give him safety.
Nothing easier, nothing like men or women in a certain type of.
Well, all of those he gets in the Silken Rose. So getting him away from there with more of that, I'd wager it would be hard.
Power. Got it. Alright. Get him away one way or another. Right. Anything else before we leave?
No, I believe I've said everything.
Walk out of the cell in the barracks.
I'll just stand up and leave.
I street.
Oh, what exactly is the plan?
Going to take
We
Cromwell to this place.
We kidnap this person, and then that helps us breaking into prison.
Kidnap this person. We torture him for information. We give it to her. She owes us a favor. She gets us in there.
In the prison.
Yes.
Well, let's go then. We don't have much
Yeah.
time.
That is true. We should hurry.
Very know where he might be able to pick up chloroform.
I mean, chloroform is actually really hard to use. You use something like okay, never mind. Well,
The equivalent of
possibly
that.
you could find something like that in alchemist's shop.
What am I supposed to do? Walk up to the counter
I
and be
mean,
like,
I promised the alchemist shop owner to come back as a
I mean,
customer, so
essentially what you'd be picking up would be a very strong anesthetic.
okay, yeah, let's go to the alchemist shop.
You'd, I guess, have to convince them maybe that you're not gonna use it for criminal activity. I don't know.
I can help. I can help Varian because
Well, you Press leads you to the alchemist shop.
yeah.
He was at last. And as you enter, a wide smile greets you. Expectantly, he opens his arms and goes along the glass walls, showing you all of the vials, expecting you to state your request.
I told you I would come back, and this time I brought a friend of mine.
I came too.
Need a strong anesthetic.
Anesthetic. Are you a doctor?
What passes for one on our ship, I suppose. We're travelers, and we try to stock up on medical supplies while we can. I'm just the boy who runs the errands.
Uh-huh. Give me a deception roll, please.
That's gonna... Don't knock everything over. 15, 16, 17, 18, 19. That's a 20, not an app.
Wow.
What kind of delivery method do you need?
I just pick it up and drop it off with the people who use it.
No, I meant more like
Oh.
intravenously. You need the local
Um,
anesthetic for skin contact.
as a native English speaker, I'm forgetting the word in English for
Injection?
this. Yeah, either injection or there's a word for this. Let's just go with injection for my lack of a prowess. But yeah, injection.
Mm-hmm.
Not localized, more of a put 'em out type of deal.
He walks out from behind the counter, pawing at his belt and procuring heavy iron key. He walks along the glass vitrines to the end near the entrance and crouches down, opening a very sturdy-looking metal box. Outside of that box, he slowly puts a few wooden boxes until he, at the end, at the very bottom of that lockbox, finds what he needs. And he puts a small tin box table. I assume as a doctor you have your syringes.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
This would be 20 gold coins, and he opens the small tin box, revealing a very small vial set aside with a dark-looking liquid.
How much money was that?
20.
Okay, that's fine. Very no pay.
Is this another alchemist shop, by the way, than last time?
No, just enough.
Just another guy at the counter. Okay, because last time it was a woman.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I
Very no pay.
totally remembered that. Yeah.
And take the drugs.
Hey. You are now in the possession of a powerful anesthetic.
Love that.
Drugs here, drugs there, drugs everywhere.
Took a syringe off a dead body, and that's the one we're using. So,
Sounds very healthy.
I have no qualms about what we're doing.
We could inject him.
Inject who?
Cromwell. It'd just be
Yeah, no,
bad.
that's why we got this. I was banking on us doing that. It's him to come with me.
Okay, but now let's be on our way. Because
the
Serenity is right, we shouldn't waste time.
No.
go to the brothel, which is what I'm assuming it is.